Many athletes have acquired substantial wealth over the years only to waste it as quickly as Speedy Gonzalez on steroids. Only a chosen few were able to increase their fortune through wise investments and rise to the status of the richest athletes in the world. Today, we'll take a close look at the top 10 athletes in terms of wealth worldwide as determined by Forbes and see how they spend their hard-earned wealth. Cristiano Ronaldo. The Portuguese footballer is often regarded as the best player in the world, and his net worth of $470 million unquestionably supports this claim. Cristiano Ronaldo was able to secure a lucrative contract with his old team Manchester United over the past 12 months. The 37-year-old star, who is nearing the conclusion of his career, will receive a yearly salary of 26.52 million British pounds. Ronaldo has multiple significant endorsement deals, including a lifetime sponsorship agreement with Nike, so it is by no means his only source of revenue. It is safe to assume that the Portuguese will move up to the rankings exclusively. Ronaldo, who is used to living a life of luxury, rented an opulent property as soon as he returned to the United Kingdom. It's difficult to believe that this $3 million house is a downgrade from his Italian villa, where he was paying $50,000 each day. The Portuguese are renowned for their love of sports automobiles, which he supports with lavish investments. The Ferrari Monza SP2, which costs $1.9 million, is one of his most recent acquisitions. Eddie Jordan. One of the most adored race drivers of all time is undoubtedly the Formula One legend. Despite the fact that his last race was more than 25 years ago, he was able to hold on to his enormous wealth. Now, he is worth $480 million. Since his final race, the Irishman has used a sizable portion of his hard-earned cash to fund the development of the Jordan Grand Prix F1 team, which has generated fantastic profits for Eddie. Jordan is nevertheless successful in his field of passion because he was chosen to host the hit show Top Gear and became the announcer for the BBC's Grand Prix coverage, even if the team won't be known for anything noteworthy. He invested in the Scottish soccer team Celtic at the same time as he acquired Oyster yachts. Jordan also loves his 45-meter Perini Navy sailing yacht Blush, which he owns with pride. We can all learn from Jordan's example in this area because, unlike other retired players, he doesn't waste his money on pointless projects. Instead, he turned his passions into lucrative businesses. Lebron James. Thank God the LA Lakers star is a better basketball player than a movie star. LeBron is a great basketball prodigy, but his performance on the big screen was nothing short of a crime against cinema. James was able to earn more than $419 million thanks to his talent. The basketball legend makes significant real estate investments. His most recent acquisition was a lavish Beverly Hills property that cost close to $37 million. LeBron also enjoys collecting watches and has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on pricey timepieces for all occasions. James owns a sizable collection of expensive automobiles like many other celebrities, but what sets him apart from most athletes is the sheer number of expensive cars he owns. His garage resembles a showroom more than a private parking lot with his 15 vehicles. Floyd Mayweather. With a moniker like Money, it's difficult to believe that this boxer is not among the top 10 richest athletes. The fighter, who has a net worth of $510 million, is one of the list's big spenders. Floyd collects homes, unlike most wealthy people who collect watches or vehicles. The boxer has properties worth close to $100 million in the United States, stakes in a $350 million entertainment firm, and more than 100 luxury vehicles, each worth well over $100,000. And to top it all off, Mayweather treated himself to a private jet worth $60 million as a birthday present. Roger Staubach. With 2 Super Bowl victories under his belt, Roger the Dodger is a legend of American football and well-deserving of his $600 million wealth. Despite the fact that sports are hardly the only source of such wealth, Roger made the majority of his money after retiring, in contrast to the other athletes on the list. He started a very lucrative real estate venture and then made significant investments in the motorsports industry. Regrettably, Roger comes from a more subdued generation that shies away from flaunting their wealth through odd purchases. Even though Roger owns houses worth millions of dollars, he lives a private existence. Junior Bridgeman. Another representation of a successful player who transitioned into business after retirement is the basketball legend. Staubach and Bridgeman both have net worths of $602 million, tying them for 6th place. While still a player, the Milwaukee Bucks star began to understand Wendy's business strategy. After retiring, he made significant investments in the franchising industry and launched more than 100 Wendy's and Chili's restaurants across the country. He sold them in 2016 for a sizable profit, began bottling Coca-Cola products in 2017, and is still expanding his franchising operations throughout the United States and Canada. Bridgman takes a different stance from the majority of his peers on this list when it comes to how he spends his hard-earned money. He prefers to use them on extravagant vacations in lovely locations. Michael Schumacher. On the brink of 2014, the most legendary F1 pilot has a very heartbreaking tale to tell. Schumacher, who is worth $605 million, hurt his head while skiing and has never been the same. Schumacher invested his money on opulent mansions and horses prior to the disaster. The German, who owns a ranch in Texas with a large number of horses, apparently enjoys training them. Schumacher has a sizable collection of Ferraris, which is not surprising. Sadly, Schumacher and his family chose a more secluded existence after the disaster and stopped being active in public life. Magic Johnson. Johnson has earned the moniker Magic both on and off the field. With a net worth of over $620 million now, the NBA player certainly knows how to have a good time. Magic has an impressive real estate portfolio, with many properties worth well over $10 million, just like all the other players on our list. Unlike most millionaires, Johnson has a taste for trucks and SUVs rather than sports cars. Prior to auctioning off his custom Lincoln pickup truck and donating the funds to his nonprofit, Magic owned the vehicle. However, Johnson's garage had more unusual vehicles than just one. Nowadays, Magic likes to travel in elegance and visit expensive locations that few people can afford. Tiger Woods. With a net worth of $850 million, the greatest golfer in history comes in third. He credits his success to, in contrast to the absolutely dull game. Woods certainly knows how to enjoy himself. Woods spends all of his money on the better things in life when he isn't boring sports analysts and viewers alike. The athlete's extravagant spending is only the tip of the iceberg. He owns many homes totaling more than $5 million. One thing that stands out, though, is the decision to buy a whole island in Sweden. That certainly is a power move. Ion Tiriac. You will be excused if you are unfamiliar with this former tennis player from Romania who has garnered a fortune of $1.3 billion. Tennis greats like Andre Agassi, Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and others who were far superior to him on the court are kept in Tiriac's wallets. Tiriac has an entire vehicle gallery full of rare cars, unlike the other athletes on this list who have incredible car collections. Unfortunately, he opens his garage to the public, which makes it a true museum. His other holdings are incredibly more profitable while being a lot more dull. Tiriac is the owner of a bank, a car dealership, an insurance firm, an airline, and a travel agency. Michael Jordan. Who else could it be? Michael Jordan is well known for playing basketball at the highest level in history, and more significantly, for being the most wealthy athlete in history. Jordan's current net worth is estimated to be $2.25 billion, and he is the master of fusing wise investing with an opulent lifestyle. Purchasing the Charlotte Hornets was one of his initial investments after quitting competitive sports. He made a $175 million investment knowing how the squad did in the ensuing years. Although purchasing the Hornets might have seemed like a waste of money, it was actually one of Jordan's better business decisions. The franchise is currently valued at more than $1.5 billion. Jordan's venture into the restaurant industry also made him millions. Like other millionaires, he spent more than $12 million on his present home, so he didn't skimp on building his ideal home. Jordan is not restricting himself to the ground, unlike the majority of his friends on this list who have car collections. He also has a yacht that is equally expensive and elegant, in addition to a multi-million-dollar plane. These represent a tiny portion of Jordan's expenditures. That emphasizes both his great affluence and his sense of style. So, were you shocked, amazed, or blown away with their luxurious collections and billions of net worth? Well, those are normal and expected standards of what a true billionaire should possess. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. To keep updated with our video uploads, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell button. See you in our next video!